Hi guys, it's Sarah. So I've been getting some requests about the sunscreen that I told you I would review, and I've been using these products for about a week. I've got the Garden Goddess Face the Day sunscreen and primer, and then I have the Garden Goddess Body Sunscreen 30 SPF. So I've been happy with the products. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what to look for in a sunscreen and what to avoid also. So I really liked this one, and one of the reasons why I chose it is because the EWG.org gave it a really high rating. It does cover both UVB and UVA spectrum, so it's considered a broad spectrum sunscreen. Just because a sunscreen says broad spectrum, you can't always rely on that. You really need to do a little bit more research. So look up your sunscreen on EWG.org in their sunscreen guide. It's worth the effort, and you'll get some really interesting information. So one of the things that I like about this product is this is a reflector zinc oxide, and it has 19% zinc oxide. It does not contain any oxybenzone. Oxybenzone, you do not want to put that on your skin. The CDC actually did a test, and they said that 97% of Americans have oxybenzone in their system. And this is a problem because oxybenzone is a hormone disruptor. It mimics estrogen. So, this is not good. It also is a bioaccumulative, so you store it in your system. So the other thing to keep in mind too is there's nothing that can substitute putting clothing on. Just a regular cotton t-shirt is about an SPF of 5, but it doesn't degrade while you're wearing it, and there's something to be said for that. So coverage is always better than just relying on sunscreen alone. It can give you a false sense of security. So if you know me, anytime I'm in the elements, I am covered head to toe. I don't like to be in the sun at all. Okay, so what I've noticed about this, when I first started using it, I was getting a lot of light reflection. I think I just had way too much on because I'm just used to putting it all on. So I have kind of tamed it down a little bit to how much I apply, and then I put my foundation over it. So I did that today so you guys could see, and if I just did my primer and my foundation, my skin would be pretty shiny. So if you look at it, you can see a little bit of shine still right here. Now, what I do is I will take a face powder. Actually, sometimes I just use cornstarch because it's cheap and there's nothing bad. And I will just take a really heavy brush like this, a heavy textured brush, and put that on there, and I will just tap away some of that shininess. So I did that already, and I left a little spot here, but I'm okay with that. That's okay. I don't need to have completely matte skin. You know, I'm in my mid-40s now, so you don't want totally matte skin because then all your little wrinkles and crepey lines pop out, and no one wants to see that. So a little bit of glow is nice, but then you don't want to be shiny either. So if you are a lady that wears makeup, I think you're going to find that you're going to want to put a little powder over that. You're not just going to be happy with that. If you're a guy wearing this, you're going to be a little shiny, but you'll be better protected, so that's okay. So as far as this one, the body one, I did put it on my arm here, and you can see it is shiny, and then this one, it does not have it. So can you tell the difference in the color? It made my arm pretty white. Now, I don't care. I'm fine with that, but you might not be. So just so you know, I never expose my arms to the sun because I have this kind of skin. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm covered. I'm covered in scary stuff. So I just never will do that. But for those of you who do, I think this is going to give you really good coverage. It looks like it will. And if you're okay with that little bit of graying. So if you have black skin, I don't think you're going to like it. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I don't know. That's just my guess. So for me, I will use this on my hands and on my legs and feet. I probably won't put it on my arms very often just because It's not often that I have bare arms in the elements at all, so that's probably the way I'll handle it. Back to the oxybenzone thing too. It's a light absorber. Zinc oxide is a light reflector. So that's why you get that kind of that shiny white sheen on there. So just be prepared that if you have been using a sunscreen that is a chemical sun absorber, the zinc oxide based sunscreens are going to set differently on your skin. So there's a little bit of a compromise when you're switching over, but it's well worth it. If you do some research, you'll find out that many of the chemicals that are in a chemical sunscreen rather than a mineral-based one, they are terrible for us. So the fact that there's just so much skin cancer out there, and yet people are wearing record numbers of sunscreen and protecting themselves, it doesn't add up. So a lot of these chemicals, in my opinion, cause cancer. I've done a lot of research, but I encourage you to do your own. It's much more meaningful for you to read these studies yourself than to have me tell you everything. It's just kind of my opinion, but because of what's happened in my family, it's really important to me, so I have been doing that research. So I encourage you to look up your sunscreen on ewg.org, take a look at the rating, and then take a look at the broad spectrum rating as well, why it gets the rating that it does. It's really important because companies know how to skirt around the ingredients so that they can get that broad spectrum rating, and it's not necessarily accurate. So eyes open and protect your skin. Bye guys.